Steel Mogu, Clear Tamei, latest EPs from Iglooghost. I'm just going to run my thoughts in one video as opposed to doing two videos here just to make it a little easier. Now, I'm not going to lie, I don't really think there's a great deal separating these two EPs, to be honest, which is another reason as to why keeping them in one video makes more sense. That's not to say that either of these EPs are bad, they're absolutely not. I just think the stylistic approach is pretty much the same across both EPs in my opinion. I mean, both EPs start off with a really short track which bursts on through to a monumentous type of track. The second track on both EPs typically seems to be the best ones out of the bunch. It's eerily similar how the structure of these EPs are. I guess that's probably the point of it, because, you know, Iglooghost is clearly trying to go for something here that feels cohesive and feels like they're sort of sister EPs in some kind of way. Now that is a little bit of an issue for me though, because, you know, the idea of two EPs having very similar ideas doesn't really make me want to return to each of them individually, because I'm just going to be like, well, there's not really that much separating the two, so I don't really have any reason to pick one over the other. And I think I would have preferred that actually if one of them was really good and the other one wasn't so good. But if I'm being honest, they're both pretty much the same. They're decent at best, but like there's not really much here I can pull away and say there's much to celebrate over these projects. The reason I say that is because I just feel like Iglooghost has fallen into a groove. He's pretty much just doing the things he's already done and doing them well. Like that's the important thing you've got to mention here. Like these are well produced EPs and probably better than your average electronic EP that you're going to come across. But for Iglooghost, I mean, so far he's basically just progressing his ideas in a whirlwind of ways that you just cannot fathom, and these EPs haven't really progressed from Neo Wax Bloom in any kind of way. New Vectors is probably the one that feels the most unique and different to me, because it's very visceral. The percussion and like the heavy, almost drill-like feel to the beat is really impressive, I think. Iglooghost certainly took us for a wild ride on this track, but yeah, other than that, there's really not much else to pull out that's a highlight for me. The last track on the Clear Tamei EP is like 7 minutes long or something. It's pretty long for Iglooghost, and yeah, it's cool, but I just don't really feel like anything happens where I'm like blown away. But I don't know if that's because we've been spoilt by his releases so far, because so far he's basically giving us like these amazing ideas to chew on and you just can't quite work out what it is, whereas this set of EPs isn't much of a progress, so you're kind of just left thinking, oh yeah, you know, it's fine, but it's nothing new. But perhaps that's the point of these EPs. Perhaps he doesn't want to give us anything new, I don't know. Perhaps expecting too much of an artist to change up their sound is missing the point of what the projects are trying to do, which I could definitely see the argument for, but I'm not going to pretend that I enjoy these EPs any more than I did the previous album that Iglooghost gave us, the Chinese New Year EP that he gave us. The title track from Clear Tamei does go for something a little different, you know, there are vocals included, but I don't know, man, I feel like they're completely out of place and just don't feel right on the ears, to be honest. I don't know what it is, but I'm just not really impressed with how it feels mixed together with the production on that track. It feels like it falls very flat to me. But the track after that, Namao, and you know, however you pronounce that word, is a fucking insane wild dubstep craze fest that I cannot fathom at all. These relentless shifts continuously come through in ways that just pummel you, that you can't really stop to think what exactly it is that's happening. And I don't know what it is, but I feel a bit jaded to this sound, because he's done this multiple times before, and even though it sounds friggin' great and it's absolutely insane, I'm just sort of like, yeah, but you know, his last album did this, so what's new? And I don't quite know what it is. A similar vocal issue that I have happened on Blacklight Ultra, where these chipmunk vocals are incorporated into the mix in a quite creative way. They add like their own sort of beat in itself, really, but I just don't really enjoy that style of singing and that style of vocalization. It's worked in the past for Iglooghost, but for this track, for some reason, it just didn't quite work. So yeah, some mishaps this time around for Iglooghost. Some ideas that I particularly didn't like, and everything else just feels a little too familiar. So I don't really know what I want from Iglooghost in the future. I guess we'll have to see where he takes his sound. But these EPs are still decent overall. No, I'm not hating, I'm not saying they're shit, but they're pretty decent overall. So I can see that, you know, Steel Mogu is slightly darker in its sound and tone than Clear Tamei. You know, you can see with the different colour schemes as well, and in the sound. But generally, I think I'm just going to collectively score these two together, because I feel as though stylistically I'm not really getting that much different. I'm just going to go 6 out of 10. It seems pretty safe, it's decent, it's alright, but nothing really pushing Iglooghost sounds to new heights that we haven't already seen. Let me know your thoughts if you think you prefer this to me, or if you agree, or if you don't like this. Let me know your thoughts. Subscribe for more reviews. Have a good day. Have a good day.